Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that you committed the crime, and more likely than not that a crime was committed. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, we'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We will make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear firm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Denise Huber. Ms. Huber, what's your date of birth?
11/17/1962.
Ms. Huber, I have 4 charges today. I have possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving on a suspended license, and providing a false name. There is probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. Do you plan to hire a private attorney? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Ms. Bunker, what can you tell me?
Yes, Your Honor. She has a couple DUIs. One was in 2002 where she was convicted of DUI manslaughter. She got some time in DOC. In 2003, she has adjudication for battery. And 2004, an adjudication for aggravated battery, as well as battery on a law enforcement officer. There's a disorderly conduct adjudication in 2004 as well. 2005, an adjudication for resisting an officer without violence. Also, aggravated assault in 2005 on an officer. Looks like she got a year and a day. 11/29 in 2002 for a domestic violence battery. There's an older 1998 disorderly intoxication. Everything else is older than that.
Okay. Ms. Huber, I have an address for you on Circle Drive. Pardon me, on Circle Drive in Weeki-Wachee. Is that where you live?
That's correct.
How long have you been there?
Since 2017 when I got out of prison.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I work at Susie's Grill in Spring Hill.
Okay. All right. Denise, I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $1,000 on the marijuana, the paraphernalia, and the false name, $500 on the driving. That's a total of $3,500. I'm going to have you back in court on May 10th. Very important that as you get out, you go and see the public defender right away, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Crystal Jacobs. Afternoon, Crystal. What's your date of birth?
1985.
All right. So I have 3 issues today. The first thing I have is a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. And they have 2 new arrests. 1 count of grand theft, 1 count of dealing in stolen property. So it's probable cause all the way around. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. And Maria, do we have a...
510.
There we go. Looks like she read my mind. Okay. All right. So, Crystal, obviously the bond on the VOP is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change the date to the 10th of May. Looks like they told you the 14th. The right date will be the 10th. Public defender is going to come to the jail and see you before that date. I'm going to move both of your other cases also to the 10th of May so that everything is occurring in the same place at the same time. Same thing. I'm going to set the bonds on those per the schedule, which is $5,000 on the dealing, $2,000 on the grand theft. Obviously, you can't get out anyway because of the VOP, and the public defender will come see you before all of those things go to court on the 10th of May, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephen Fregg. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/7/70, Your Honor.
Stephen, I have a new charge today of a retail theft. There's probable cause for that. Also looks like you're currently on felony probation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were sentenced here in Hernando County. Is that correct?
Sir?
Were you sentenced on the felony in Hernando County?
I have been, yes.
So there's an arrest for a probable cause violation of probation. There's probable cause for both charges. As to those charges, Stephen, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I would like to hire private counsel if I may. And Your Honor, may I also humbly request that I get a bond on my VOP? I'm supposed to start a job Wednesday that I've been really gunning for, and I stand to lose my home. My home is borderline in pre-foreclosure. If I sit any amount of time in here, I'm going to lose everything, literally. And
Well, Stephen, I'm not insensitive to those things. However, there is no way I can give you a bond on a felony VOP. That's just not going to happen. So that is going to be no bond. I'll leave the bond on the misdemeanor the same, which is the $500. The felony is coming back on the 14th of May. The misdemeanor is coming back on the 10th of May. Make sure you share that information with your lawyer whenever you speak to him, okay?
okay, thank you, Your Honor.
James Renninger. Afternoon, James. What's your date of birth?
1999.
How about the whole date?
August 1st, 1999.
There you go. You're charged today with possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender? I'll appoint the PD, State.
It looks like he just did 9 days in March for a disorderly conduct. He also has a withhold in 2018 for possession of marijuana and possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. That's all his record has.
James, I have an address for you on Skyline Court. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
4 years?
Do you have a job these days?
No.
How long has it been since you had a job?
3 weeks. I was back in flight one in like Tuesday.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $500. I'll have you back in court on the 10th of May. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender's office, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Peter Valatuto.
Yes, sir.
Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
2/27/81.
Charge today is violation of condition of pretrial release. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
All right. Appoint the PD. State he has an open battery, same victim, right? That's the whole basis of this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's on a PTI too, it looks like, in 2018, unless he's completed that.
Okay. All right, so here's how this is going to work. On this one, Peter, I'm going to set a bond of $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Jessica K. McGinn. I know that Judge Rupi explained it to you. I will tell you now that it means no contact of any kind. I will tell you further that in a moment I'm going to revoke your bond in the battery case, so you're not getting out of jail. If you use your PIN or somebody else's PIN to contact her again, then the next step will be a third charge, and then you will lose your phone privileges at the jail. No contact means no contact of any kind. Do you need me to explain it to you again?
No, sir. I was just trying to.
Don't tell me what you were doing. Just don't. All right? It's bad enough as it is. So it'll be no contact on this case as well, which includes calling or writing from the jail. And then job number 1. When you have a pending criminal charges, don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke the bond in case number 19MM1379. In that case, we're going to hold you without bond. Both cases will be coming back then on the 8th of May. Public defender will come see you at the jail before you go to court again, okay?
There's no way I can get a bond, sir. I have 3 calls
absolutely
left.
not. You violated a court order within days of being told not to do it. So absolutely not. You'll be back on May 8th. The PD will come see you. Christopher Brooks. After Mr. Brooks, what's your date of birth?
6667.
All right, Mr. Brooks, you're here on a warrant that Judge Rupi signed. You failed to appear in her court on a charge of having an expired DL for more than 6 months. State, is this something he can resolve today?
No, I can't.
Well, hang on. You quiet now. Hang on a second.
He doesn't have a lot of in-state, but he has quite a bit of out-of-state. Looks like he was in DOC somewhere. But as far as the.
Well, let me ask you this question: how recent is the out-of-state history?
In 2015, possession of paraphernalia was their most recent.
Okay.
Let's see what that today was. Yeah, he can do part-time, sir.
Okay. Chris, if you want to resolve this case today, you complete no contest to the charge. If you did that, I'd sentence you to 2 days in the county jail with credit for 2 days served. You'd be done. You'd be out today. There would be a fine and court costs assessed, but that would just become one more thing between you and a driver's license. Would you like to take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so that we can take care of this today. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Case number 18CT2692. As to the charge that you were driving with a license that had been expired more than 6 months, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find that it was freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 2 days in the county jail, credit 2 days served. The fine and court cost of $488, $100 for the 2 days in jail, but that takes care of it. There's nothing else keeping you in the jail. You will be released today, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. Michael Burdick.
Judge, he was sentenced on multiple, I think 7 different felony cases to 56 months in the Department of Corrections. Here we have a retail petty theft and resisting without violence. We'd be asking for time served of 52 days with no coin.
Any problem with that, State?
No problem with that.
Any information about restitution?
There is no restitution in our records. It was theft from Publix.
Okay, very good. All right, Michael, you want to take time served on the misdemeanors, get on your way?
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering pleas, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. Do you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 19MM1266 has the charge of count 1 of petty theft. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
As the charge of count 2, resisting without violence. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept those pleas. I'll find they were freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty on both counts. On each count, I'll sentence you to 52 days in the county jail with credit for 52 days served. There'll be a fine and court cost on count 1 of $670, on count 2 of $88, and $100 for the public defender's office. I will not order cost of incarceration, as that was surely done in circuit court. That takes care of your misdemeanors, Michael. You're now free to go wherever it is that you need to go next, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. And then, jail, did you bring up Christina Bursaw?
We can, she's here, what's the last name?
Bursaw, Christina Bursaw? So she's not in the courtroom, is that what you're telling me?
Correct, we're gonna see if she's here. If
Okay.
we'll bring her.
Well, I'm sure she's there because she's on no bond.
Yeah, I don't think she's gone
Yeah.
anywhere.
Okay, what did you say? 57 days?
52.
Your Honor, she'll be up in a few minutes.
I'll wait patiently.
Then talk to him today.
Yeah,
Then talk to him.
to him.
Allison, do you know anything about this Bursaw, or is this just coming at you out of the blue?
I do know that Mr. Larison spoke to the victim, and the victim has no objection to her getting a bond.
That's awesome.
He's actually a drug court. Danke. Jack Danke.
Oh, I know who he is.
He's the alleged victim.
Everybody's alleged.
Until you resolve that issue.
As you stand before me today, I presume you're innocent of these charges.
That's right. So how was your Easter?
Quiet.
Yeah. That was about mine.
Oh.
I go to jail and see him.
Easter Sunday.
No, today. I did go to jail Easter Sunday.
First appearance.
Yeah, over at T. Michael Johnson over in Sumter County.
How did he win? I thought he retired.
He is. He is retired.
Is he senior judge?
Yep.
And how does a senior judge get first appearance on the weekends?
Because Judge Howard apparently didn't want to do it on Easter Sunday or Easter weekend. So get this. Howard is a citrus judge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he does his first appearances here.
Because he lives
He
in
lives
Hernando.
there.
Yeah.
So the upshot of that was if they hold first appearance in your county, you're supposed to cover it. So he switches with T. Michaels, and now we're having it in Sumter. And
And it's supposed to be in citrus.
well, technically, yes. It's supposed to be in Citrus. Normally would be in Hernando, but ends up in Sumter. But we had to cover it anyways. So Easter Sunday, I got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, got up before then because I left around 7.
Whoever it was wasn't answering the phone on Friday night to sign a warrant. I
So
can
when
tell
they
you
do
that.
when they do a first appearance on the weekend, was there a fee from all three, or for the whole circuit?
We get one from Citrus and Sumter
Oh, Citrus.
when we do it here.
Yeah.
We only do Tri-County for the weekend.
Gotcha.
Or what I like to think of as the 21st Judicial Circuit.
That's a good way to think about it.
If that would ever happen, that would be awesome.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's name is Ray Jeter. They called me back.
What's that?
He called me at 11:30. Plumbing inspector. Hey. You called me back.
Well, they called me, but I didn't answer. I had the phone on because it wasn't my weekend. And
Where do I go? You all right?
Christina, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so the public defender's office tells me that you had the misfortune to have first appearance on a weekend, and the judge didn't set a bond for you.
Well, yes, sir.
There you go. All right.
I was wondering if I could.
You're going to get a bond because, interestingly enough, the law requires that you have a bond, even though it didn't happen. I'm going to fix it. Do you know anything about our history, Steve?
No.
I'm sorry?
I don't.
Okay.
Well, actually, it looks like there was a drop battery in 2019 in Citrus, DUI in 2002, and that's all I see.
Okay. Christina, I have an address for you. It says East Waverly Street in Inverness. Is that where you live?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
For about 3 years.
Okay. And were you living with Mr. Danicky?
No, we're not living. We were kind of friends with benefits when this happened. I know. I'm embarrassed to say.
Well, don't be embarrassed. I've been doing this a long time, Christina. I'm not embarrassable anymore.
Well, I am.
What I want to know is, so Mr. Danicky doesn't think he lives at that address in Inverness. That's all.
No, absolutely not.
No, he couldn't live out.
Because he's in drug court, so he couldn't live out of county. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
He
so-
should have scammed me out all of my money too.
Okay,
so I
well,
appreciate
hang on. We're not going to air all of our dirty laundry today. And Christina, do you have a job these days?
No, I'm disabled. I have epilepsy. I've had plenty of seizures in there. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, hang on. And then, but she must have got a date already, right? When did she get sent for? And we don't know.
Probably got 510 already. I don't know what they were handing out this weekend.
510 is what we have here. We'll put her there and call it a day.
What kind of charge was it?
It's a battery.
Misdemeanor battery.
What day did she go to court?
I don't know.
What morning were you in court, Christina? Saturday or Sunday or Friday or
Friday, Good Friday.
Friday morning?
Friday, they get 510.
Okay. All right, Christina, here's the deal. I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that while your case is pending, you'll have no contact with Mr. Danicky. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. You don't go where he lives, you don't go where he works, you don't contact him through a third person. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact with him of any kind, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until your charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, the moment you see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That is not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them that he's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. We'll have you back in court on the 10th of May. When you get out, you should contact the public defender right away, okay?
Thank you so much. Yes, I will.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
You bet.